In this video, we'll again be discussing about new nominating contract that has been introduced in the game. And so you know that previously we had already got the nominating contract of player transfers. So again, they have given us another nominating contract of player transfers, which you can call it as volume 2. So in this video, I'll be clearing all your doubts like which player to choose for which play style, as well as my picks from this nominating contract and their progression point in this video. So without wasting much time, let's head straight into the video. So before starting the video, I would be discussing certain things about nominating contract, which we have already discussed on the previous videos of nominating contract. So before using this nominating contract, kindly notice that this nominating contract has a validity of 60 days. So from when the 60 days counts, when you get it at your inbox or when you get it as a reward from Konami. And which contract will be used first? Whichever has the closest expiry date, that will be used automatically by in-game. And as this nominating contract was much needed, because I guess majority of the users nominating contract were about to expire this by the end of this October. Mine also 30th October and 31st October, 2 5-star nominating will be expiring. So I'm happy that I got this back, and yes, I'll let you know like which players to choose, which play style, which players, and my picks and their progression points as well. So talking about players, I'll tell you about the players that can play in all play style. So the players that can play in all play style would be Casemiro, Koundé, Kostic, Molina, Bergwijn, and the final one is Simeone. Talking about the players that can't play in particular play style, Dybala won't be able to play in out wide, Guedes not playable in long ball, Cucurella long ball and quick counter not playable, Tagliafico long ball not playable, Renato Sanchez out wide not playable, Fernandes long ball not playable, and William Carvalho long ball counter, long ball and out wide not playable. I'm deciding why these players can't play in that position because of their progression point, because they require a lot of progression. Minimum and maximum, I'll say you maximum you should spend 4, not more than that. Since these cards are highlight cards, that's why I'm giving them 4 progression points maximum. Otherwise, if the previous old featured card nominating contract used to come, I didn't used to give them more than 2 or something like that. That's why we have got a par where we can give them 4 progression points for their individual playstyle. That's how I decide like which player is not playable in that particular playstyle, because giving more than 4 is like compromising with your stats and rating of the particular. So now I'll be telling you my picks and why I have picked them. So my first pick is Casemiro, because he's one of the best defensive anchormans in game and you shouldn't miss out on this guy. My second pick is Jules Koundé, because he's one of the best extra frontman center back in game. I have tried him personally and he's absolutely phenomenal. If you try him in triple CB, he will be more usable, better than the double CB, which I prefer. My third preference would be Kostic, because of his very good crossing ability. He has a very good crossing ability and he's one of the best in the market right now. My fourth pick would be Dybala, because of his crossing and dribbling ability, which is absolutely elegant. You'll just love it. His long range curlers and long range shooting as well as dribbling. And my final pick would be none other than our Chelsea man, Cucurella. And when I looked at his stats, this Cucurella, apart from my favorite because he belongs to this batch, is he has a very good stamina, high stamina, and he can contribute a lot defensively. So now one by one I'll be showing you the progression points in all playstyle for this particular players, that is for my choice players that you should surely go for. So the progression point and stats of Casemiro in no playstyle would be this. Progression point of Casemiro under position and out wide would be this. Progression of Casemiro under long ball counter, quick counter and long ball would be this. Talking about my second favorite, progression point of Jules Koundé under no playstyle would be this. Progression point of Jules Koundé under quick counter would be this. Progression of Jules Koundé under possession would be this. And possession of Jules Koundé under long ball counter, long ball and out wide would be this. Now talking about my third favorite, Kostic, his progression point under no playstyle would be this. Kostic's progression under long ball would be this. Kostic's progression under position would be this. And finally Kostic's progression under long ball counter, quick counter and out wide would be this. Now talking about the second last player of my favorite nominating contract players list would be Dybala. Under no playstyle his progression would be this. Under possession and long ball counter his progression point would be this. Under quick counter and long ball ball, his progression point would be this. Now coming to the final player of this list, and obviously the player that I need to go because of this batch, that is Cucurella. His progression point under no playstyle would be this. Cucurella's progression point under possession would be this, and his progression point under long ball counter and out wide would be this. So with this we come to an end with all the things that you should know before going for this nominating contract, and these ratings are made on my thoughts and basis because I feel like a particular player in this particular position should have these stats. So if you feel you can go for it, you can go for it, because I feel like this is the best stats I've given on the particular player. So if you found this video to be informative and it helped you a lot in choosing the players, do hit the thumbs up and subscribe the channel if you haven't. Subscribe the channel. Roger takes off. Peace out.